Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I wanted to show you my finished Game of Shroom illustrations. Tomorrow is the Shroom Drop. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, it is a geocaching art challenge where artists around the world are participating, creating works of art that include mushrooms, and then leaving them somewhere in their community for other people to find and keep. So I did a video sort of outlining notes and ideas. I did one about sketches and sort of design layout. I chose to do bricks. I had 3 that were in my backyard that when we bought this house, there was just a pile of stuff in the backyard, and I've slowly been creating on it and using it all up as recycled art. So I chose to create on 3 bricks. And I'm going to show you the first one, which is the last one I finished. So this is sort of my interpretation of a Luna moth. This is the fly aragic mushroom. This is my most complete brick, and I thought that in honor of that I should do probably the most symmetrical design. I did take creative liberties with the shape, but I think overall it works. Now I am utilizing sort of design and layout and patterning. I'm also sort of utilizing color theory. So red and green are opposite each other, the color wheel. So they are complementary colors. It also works because this brick is really, really copper, which skews red. And I think this one worked out a lot. This one was the most technically difficult. I used a brush, and I went back in my history to try and figure out what brush this was. I don't even know if you can see the bristles anymore. This is a 10/0. So it looks like it literally has 5 bristles, and of the 5, there's probably only 2 left. I did absolutely destroy this brush painting on brick because of the porous surface with very thick, goopy acrylic paint. But this is a very porous surface, and I wanted to get really fine lines, and this was the only brush I could do that with. So, the next one, and I'm kind of moving these all around on my desk here, is a koi fish. And this one kind of has the notch taken out. And what I did for this one is, this is a negative space painting. So the actual exposed brick is the orange of the fish. And these are my tiny little imaginary mushrooms. And this works also utilizing complementary colors because orange and blue are opposite each other, the color wheel. So they complement each other very well. This is probably the brightest one I have. You know, we live by the ocean, so folks tend to like aquatic stuff. I have to think in terms of what people would like to receive and not just create things that I would enjoy. So I hope this is something that people love. The last one is the brick that's the most broken, and I went all weird with my asymmetrical design. And this is a tiger. It's Year of the Tiger for anybody who celebrates the Lunar New Year. And it's wearing a fly aragic mushroom cap as a sort of hat, if you will. This one was a lot of fun. This one actually was not the most time consuming, but probably the most technical in terms of accuracy, because if I sort of disproportion this in any way, it's going to stop looking like a tiger and look a little bit more cartoon, and I wasn't sure how realistic I wanted to go with that. So the other thing I did was on the back I put my information, and when I first painted it, it didn't show up. So what I did was I painted a little cloud, put the information, and then I did a little bird silhouette numerical system. So for the fish, it has 2 little birds, and then for the moth has 3 little birds. So everything has been labeled accordingly, decorated accordingly, Yeah, these are bricks. Now, what the finder chooses to do with them is up to them. I mean, these could be used as a bookend, as a paperweight, a doorstop, a conversation piece, just a piece of art. They could put it outside. It does need to be sealed, but they could definitely build this into sort of a brick path or a brick wall or a brick garden bed or something. Those are all lovely options. Or, you know, whatever. It's not mine anymore as soon as I hide it. So tomorrow is the drop. I will be driving around. So I went and I calculated, like, how long did it take me to do this? Because when I go to sort of give people the quick version, I just talk about like the surface. Like, how long did it take you to paint this? I don't think about any of the other process. So if you said, oh, wow, those are great. How long did that take you? Me in typical fashion would go, oh, about 9 hours. But no, I calculated it. Because doing the back, I had to do the white. I had to make sure that was perfectly dry. I had to make sure the fronts were perfectly dry. And then I could go and hand letter each letter with my little 10/0 brush. Because I don't have a multi-surface sort of paint pen that can do on brick and things. So I had to use acrylic paint and paint on the lettering and everything. So it may have taken 9 hours to do the front, but it took about an hour of planning, an hour of figuring out ideas and sketches and stuff. Design layout took about an hour, trying to figure out, move things around, what would look good. I borrowed a pressure washer from my neighbor, and while it didn't take me long to pressure wash these, I baked him a batch of cookies to thank him and all of that. So that took about an hour total. Painting the backs of all three took a total of 2 hours, and then I'm going to hide them tomorrow, and that's going to take an hour. So in total, doing these 3 pieces for Game of Shrooms took 16 hours. 16 instead of 9. So when you go to do your own art and think about things you're creating, just know that when an artist says like a really tiny time frame, they may just be thinking of what people notice and see when they ask them. A lot goes into creating and designing and cultivating and figuring out what it is you want to do and stare at, because I had, you know, magnifying glasses on to be able to see in detail what it was I was doing to make sure my lines were good, you know, and looking under these for hours at a time. It's a process. So these are my finished illustrations. I hope you enjoyed this and the process that it took me to do Game of Shrooms. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.